So this is a story about my wife and I attending Keats school, and I'm going to ask my wife what her name is.
Megan.
My name is Tailong, and we're both from America. I was born in Jamaica originally, but grew up in America. And we are in the intermediate class here at Keats school. So I'm going to ask her a couple of questions, see how she feels about Keats, and we'll wrap up the dialogue by telling you a little bit about how we came to be in Kunming. So we have been in Kunming 3 months, and we're taking Keats school. So what is your class like?
Mr. Yu's class is very good. He has it's an environment, a learning environment where we're free. It's a relaxed environment where education and learning is easy because he makes it very comfortable for people. He uses a lot of different methods to help us to remember words, which is obviously very important when learning a new language. And many times we each take turns to use a new word, and that impresses it upon our mind a little bit more. So it helps us to remember. So when we go out in China, we can use it, and it's very practical.
I have a similar thought. I do understand that there's many different nationalities at Keats, so that's one thing that makes my class very interesting, and I like it. And many experiences that they have learning Chinese come together in the same class. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you a second question. What do you like best about your class and your teacher?
What I like best is that every 20 or 30 minutes he changes the method of teaching, so it's not like 2 hours of doing the same thing. He uses probably 3 or 4 different methods during a few hours, which is, it's good. It keeps if our attention span is short, then he changes it so that we're always participating and that no one is falling asleep while learning.
So I can agree that Yu Lao sure has many good methods to help us to stay awake. He helps us to master the language. So each of us have different backgrounds, different learnings, and we just come together, and with the teacher, he gives us the guidance. So we really like the way that it is arranged and how Yu Lao sure actually does the class for us.
And since we've been here 3 months today, actually. So we started the class a month after we got here. Mm-hmm. So we've been in it 2 months.
Right.
So starting it right away when you come into China is very helpful because every day you have to speak Chinese. So learning as much as possible in the initial phases is really important.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And so we want to take a look at some of the methods that our teacher uses. One of the methods I like is the rhythm method, which is you clap 3 times and you say a word in Chinese, and the word will have 2 parts to it. The second part will be used by the other student to make a new word. And so that method I really like, and so it impresses upon us to learn new words and to continue to find ways to keep those words. Mm-hmm. So what do you like about some of the teaching methods that Yu Lao sure has?
We usually there's 6 to 8 people in a class, and so we each get 2 to 3 words that we have to use in a sentence, and so we each take turns to say a couple sentences, but it's one story that we're telling, mm-hmm. but different people are saying different sentences. So I like that. My husband says I like to tell stories and exaggerate a lot, so I'm hoping to do that in Chinese.
Yeah, she's done that really good, so that's her favorite method. Another thing that I like about the activities is Yu Lao sure uses flashcards. He also uses the listen and choose the right words or right expressions. So that's another activity that we do in the intermediate class that I find very interesting and also very profitable in terms of learning the Chinese. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we have stories, we have to read characters, so which is helpful in learning. And when we're out on the streets in China, there's many characters you have to look at and to know what you're reading. So it is very helpful to get your eyes trained to constantly looking at the characters and recognizing them easily.
Yeah, and for those of you out there, I know that the word's going to come up and it's homework. Do we get homework? Yes, we get homework. And the benefits of homework is to help us to remember the new words that we learn, and also to make sentences or even write essays. So if you truly want to benefit from learning the language in all its facets, you got to do homework. What do you feel about homework?
I don't like to do too much homework. I know the benefit of it, so I'll do a little bit of it.
Okay.
But he just gives the appropriate amount, so it's not too much.
Right. Well, I make her do the homework, because she lives in my house too. So, and so we're talking a little bit about Key School, continuing on, and so far I think the school has a great environment. Really, am encouraged to come every day so that I can learn more Chinese and actually use it as I leave the school campus. So that's something that I've come to appreciate about Keats.
And there are many teachers here, and when we see them, they always say hello to us, ni hao. And so they're very friendly. Even when we come a little bit earlier or stay a little bit after class, many of them are standing around, and we can feel free to ask them questions. So they're very willing to help us, not just our one specific teacher. So it's a nice environment.
Yeah, and this gives us encouragement because we are in it for the long haul and learning the language, and so we'll be using Keats School as part of our study program in order to benefit ourselves. The environment, like I said, it's friendly. The teachers, you can come in. They have many resources in their library so that you can use. You can come early and study, stay late and study. So the services here, there's internet access, there's all kinds of different things to help you get engaged in learning Chinese.
And it's nice that the classes are small because you get a little bit more attention than if the class was 20 or so more people. It's harder to ask questions when there's that many people. So with the classes being small, if you ask a question, most likely your students have had that same question too. So you learn a lot in 2 hours, and very practical. He doesn't waste a lot of time on things that really won't be useful in everyday life. So
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I appreciated too, was just getting right to the Shiguan, as they mentioned, the thing that we use regularly. So what are we doing here in Kunming? Besides learning Chinese, we hope to get jobs teaching English. So that's one of our goals here, is to learn Chinese first so we know what the needs are of the students that we'll have in the future to teach English with.
Yes, and we also have tried to eat some of the Kunming cai, the food. We've enjoyed trying that too, the local, what's the word?
Street food,
Yeah.
local delicacies.
Right. So we've enjoyed that, and which is nice because in China it's so big. There's different parts that have different types of food. So it's nice to experience the local culture, and the people are very friendly in the cab or walking on the street. If we have a problem or cannot find where we're going, they're often willing to help us.
Right. So there's a few things you have to learn when you get here to Kunming, but put it on your map. That's our story.